Hello everybody, welcome to this time-based analysis tutorial where I want to talk about a framework I designed to transform organizations by measuring and reducing the non-value-adding time, wait, and queue times that typically consume over 85% of the calendar time in a product, service, or health patient journey. Most organizations, including manufacturing, the UK NHS, and local government, only provide value to customers during 15% or less of the total calendar time consumed when viewed through the lens of time. Supply chain synchronization is also poor, especially if ERP or MRP push-type systems are used. You can transform organizations using my time-based analysis framework. This is designed to be used by frontline value-adding employees. They know more about the process and culture than anybody else. Before I go through the stages of transformation, let me discuss the key components of my approach. Key components of time-based analysis. The lens of time. Instead of focusing only on islands of efficiency, the 15%, this approach looks at the entire end-to-end process from input to output to identify where typically 85% of the time is wasted. Value-adding versus non-value-adding time. Yes, 85% of a product or service journey is typically wasted time, such as waiting, queuing, or unnecessary storage. The synchronization point. This is the crucial moment a customer requests a product or service. The supply chain and operations should be compressed towards this specific date and time. Pull control systems. I advocate replacing push systems like ERP and MRP with pull-type control to prevent excess inventory and improve responsiveness. See my book for details and examples. Value-adding employees as consultants. Employees drive transformation and are the best consultants to identify problems and implement improvements. Key findings and benefits. Typical value-adding time. Often 15% or less in manufacturing. As low as 4% in UK local government services. 8 to 14% in the UK NHS health patient journey. Only automotive does better. Results. Using a time-based framework can lead to up to 75% reduction in throughput time, 60% reduction in inventory, a 28% increase in output per employee, lower fixed costs, improved response to customer demands, and much improved customer service. Employee involvement and morale is also transformed. Criticism of financial accounting. Traditional accounting is really just an autopsy that cannot see the internal waste, non-value-adding time, and untapped potential within organizations that time-based analysis reveals. You can find more information on LinkedIn, YouTube, and in my book, The Time-Based Organization, available on Amazon. Now, let's look at the graphic and go through the various stages needed to transform organizations. The first action. Senior management must empower value-adding employees so that they can conduct analysis and make system-wide improvements to remove non-value-adding time and constraints. Analysis of existing value-adding capability prior to any developmental action is critical when transforming organizations. To gather data that is superimposed on the time-based analysis framework, value-adding employees track a product, service, or health patient through the organization. They record value-adding time, and by default, non-value-adding time is recorded. Supply chain synchronization can also be imposed onto the framework. This entails recording the date or time materials, component parts, or even manufacturing instructions arrived in relation to the need date. Animated videos explain the method of analysis and can be seen on YouTube. The second action. Putting existing value-adding time on a calendar timeline results in a visually powerful representation of the organization's value-adding capability. Value-adding employees' teams should now begin to redesign the systems to remove the non-value-adding time gaps in order of priority. The third action. Analysis of supply chain inputs generally reveals poor supply chain synchronization. This is common in organizations that employ push-type control systems like ERP and MRP. I always try to replace push-type control supply chain triggers with pull. This has many benefits. Please read my book, The Time-Based Organization, for a detailed explanation and guidance. The fourth action. Supply chain synchronization can be greatly improved when pull-type systems are in place. This will include direct sell feeds, material kits, B2B supply chain triggers, grouped purchase orders, etc., etc. The fifth action. When rough cut analysis of the end-to-end processes are complete and non-value adding time is removed, the process islands of efficiency can be fine-tuned. Here it is often found that process value adding time profiles are not good. For example, a lot of time is consumed but not much value is added. Combining value-adding actions and incorporating parallel processes, etc., are usually needed. The sixth action. This is the point in the development journey where all the teams meet with management to review results. This can be quite an embarrassing time for many managers and accountants who, prior to time-based analysis, could not see any waste. In particular, financial reporting data only records results and cannot see the non-value adding time, waste, or untapped potential that the lens of time reveals. Other strange things have been seen during past implementations, for example, overhead recovery in 9 months, not 12. Improved cash flow and cash balance, greater capacity, reduction in material storage areas, greater output per employee, etc. My book discusses savings and improvements in detail. The seventh action. Some value-adding processes might display a lot of variances that impact quality. These will need statistical analysis. The most important point to make here is that rough-cut analysis of the whole is undertaken before fine-tuning the islands of efficiency. For more information, ask Google AI, what is time-based analysis? Who is Dr. Bob Barker?